And welcome to Learning from Leaders. This is your host, Patrick Dewar. My guest today is Jennifer Bagley of ComplimentsInternational.com. And it's been a great show. We've had 2 parts already where we address the different keys to internet success, not just how to build a website, but how to build a website that works for you rather than you working your tail off or hiring 2 extra people to handle everything else that you're talking about on the internet. Jennifer literally has shown us ways that we can have one tool working for us 24/7, and it's the one portal that we go through to touch everything else and all the other social media, social networks, and the different bookmarking sites and all of that. So I'm really thankful, Jennifer, for being on the show.
Thank you.
And I want to get into like I said, the darker side of the internet, and one of the key components of the darker side when I say that is, I have lots of people that tell me, hey, just go to WordPress and build a site on WordPress, no big deal, or go to Odesk and they can handle everything. But there's a really sinister component out there in that. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the minefield that they're walking in when they do that.
Absolutely. There is brilliance in what's called open source. Open source is typically, there's a world of programmers that is out there. That's what they do, is they build free applications and free programs.
Right.
You have no clue who builds those. They can be from any country around the world. They can have their own mission, their own objective as to what they're building and what it's doing. It gets very complicated, but within WordPress there is a core. And attached to it, there are multiple plugins that are all built by different people. And there is no police, there is no patrol that's going in to analyze those to make sure that they don't have malware, that they're not capturing your data, that they don't have vulnerabilities that will steal your client's information or anybody who goes to your website. There is a website out there that people can go to. It's Millworm, and the O is actually a 0. And if you just simply type in WordPress or Joomla or any of those other content management systems or any open source application, if it's free, that means there is no regulations. Microsoft is not overseeing it. Your large corporation is not. So go look, and you're going to be able to see the number of hacks. I believe I was on there 2 days ago, and there was an average of 15 hacks on just WordPress alone that will allow people to stream data directly from your server to theirs. There are man-in-the-middle attacks where they can actually have a front or a face, as if I was going to your website, but I'm not. I'm going to someone else's server that looks identical to yours. And those exist everywhere. You cannot play Russian roulette with your business. You just cannot do it. You've got to have a security expert that understands insides and out. It's funny because when it comes to websites, I always hear people how it needs to look. It needs to be pretty, and it needs to look this way and look this way, and it needs to have this content, and this needs to be here. There is so much more to that. The security experts we have on our team scare me to death. Okay,
they scared me pretty bad too.
They scare me. Yeah, what they know, where they've been, what they are privy to seeing online, and the websites that they monitor to find out who's sharing what information about who will absolutely scare anybody, possibly away from the internet. So you cannot guess. You cannot listen to people who are not subject matter experts in security online if they're going to be building your website and your client's data is going to be held on that system. Or even if not, even if it's just a simple newsletter form. We wonder how spam gets to where it is. But if you have people signing up on your website and you don't have a 100% secure site, their information is being sent to Never Never Land, whoever wants that information. So it's very, very scary. Very scary.
What are some of the keys to building up a person's security? And I know they can hire you, and I hope they do, but if they aren't in that position yet, what are some of the little things that anybody can do?
Well, one is obviously you need a security certificate that's posted on your site. Honestly, when it comes to security, the team of experts that we have, I don't know everything that they know. Right. They're geniuses. You have got to have server security. You have got to have database administrators that are security experts when it comes to database. Your website programmers need to be security experts. It's so complicated. it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
So if we were, after we've really looked at building a secure site, and how do we protect ourselves somewhat from onslaught afterwards? Once you've built the site, how do you protect yourself from assault?
Okay, and that's perfect. It's the same thing as if you build it, they will come. If you build it, it's secure, no way. Because they're coming up with stuff every single day on how to hack, how to get into sites, how to stream. We saw it with one of yours.
Sure.
So
site was hacked twice in like 3 days.
Yeah, flashing lights and a sword.
That was fun. That hurt.
Yeah. So I mean, you have to continually monitor every single. The nice part is hackers love to share that they learned how to hack something, and so they will typically post it on networks such as IRC, Millworm, and so forth. And there's a lot of other security monitoring networks that you can go look, but you've got to have someone that manages that site, that is looking at it day in and day out to see what's next. What do I have to prepare for? Are there patches I have to download? Are there plugins I need to remove until they're further tested? Do I need to alter? If you notice, people that have used WordPress, at the bottom of it, they will typically have in the footer.php, they will have an encrypted code, and it says do not remove, and then it's a bunch of gibberish and words. And you don't know what that is. We actually can reverse engineer that code and pop it out to see if there are any security threats built into that.
Wow.
So.
Welcome to the dark side.
Sorry.
Woo. Okay, so once, I guess the thing that I'm curious about is that whole, like, there are several antivirus, anti-malware software out there, and I guess that stuff doesn't really apply to your website, does it?
No, that's for your
AVG
PC.
and whatever the others are, Norton or whatever, but they don't apply to your website.
No, that's a PC protector. So that's protecting your PC. Once you go out to the internet, you're in Never Never Land.
Oh, this is fun. I love this stuff. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm really just trying to share an emotional moment that I had a few days ago when I sat down with her byteheads and just went, or engineers, excuse me, and just went, oh my God, people can do that? Well, I will tell you, as we're coming to a close on this show, I want you to make sure that you connect with Jennifer Bagley, that you get on complimentsinternational.com, that you spend the time. I mean, if you're going to get an opportunity to spend an hour with her techies, I will tell you, it's worth more than you could imagine. It's not just, they're going to give you more information than you probably will believe, and I'm thankful for that. So I encourage you to connect. And Jennifer, what else would they need to do? Is that it? Just go to Compliments International. What else?
Yep, go to Compliments International, call us. First thing to do is make that step. It's not going anywhere, like we said, so we've got to jump. And information is power. We're willing to provide you with information, so we'd love to talk to you.
That's great. And so just go to that 214-810-5933 and give them a call and let them know exactly where you're at, what you're wanting to do, and what you're wanting to accomplish. And then watch these her wizards go to work and connect with her. I know that you also do all kinds of information. You have an RSS feed, right? And so they can go to Compliments International and sign up for that. I know we're almost out of time for today's show, and I just thank you guys for listening and for watching the Learning from Leaders. I encourage you to connect with Jennifer and come back next week as we begin to dig further into other ways to build a successful business, to bring best practices, because you are learning from leaders. This is your host, Patrick Dewar. Thanks for coming.